Pizza Hut. Start 2010 off right with Pizza Hut. All your favorite Pizza Hut pizzas at an incredible low price.
Bud Light Freeze Frame, where you select the best image of the week. The nominees, Colt McCoy has had great memories at Texas Memorial Stadium, but maybe none greater than this. Former Longhorns QB proposing to his girlfriend at the stadium on a Monday, and she said yes. But did he go to Jared? That's what I like to know. Soon Deanna Gaines needed to come up big when Darren Williams re-injured his wrist, and he did. The Utah rookie draining the game-winning three at the buzzer to beat the Cavs. Nice capture. Nice shot. After 4 touchdown passes against the Cowboys, Brett Favre has put the Vikings within a game of the Super Bowl. And the 40-year-old enjoys the moment after taking the Vikings to their first NFC Championship game since the 2000 season. Those are your nominees. Here are your comments. How does Brett Favre keep going? It is absolutely incredible that a 40-year-old man can lead a football team into the NFC Championship game. Does this mean another year for Favre? Does it mean a freeze-frame win? Let's get to the vote. And the vote says, oh yeah, Favre celebrates 57% runaway winner. Colt McCoy is second, and Gaines last place with that nice game-winning shot. But your winner, once again, number 4, Brett Favre, showing us why he came back for another shot at the title. Freeze it, frame it. It is your image of the week.
Bud Light Freeze Frame, brought to you by Bud Light. With the just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability.
To golf, the Bob Hope Classic, 5 days over 4 courses in the Palm Springs area. That's Yogi Berra. Ceremonial tee-off early this morning. Steve Elkington chipping in on 18 for birdie.
Useful shot, man.
Elkington finished 3 under. Bob Hope was a comedian, by the way, for all the kids out there. Pretty big, from what I understand. Leader, Shane Birch, 8 under. Puts that in. There's a save par. He was like, I don't know, pretty, how big? Like the situation now. Yes, Bob Hope was that big.
Maybe a little bigger than the situation.
I don't know. He's pretty big. Birch sings a long putt. The leader right now, he's 10 under par. Yeah, that big.
Benoit Denizet Lewis, the author of a sex addiction book, has a source that says Tiger Woods is receiving treatment at a sex rehab clinic in Mississippi. Denizet Lewis was treated at the same clinic. Last week, Radar Online and 2 TV stations in Jackson, Mississippi reported through sources that Woods was at the Hattiesburg clinic. Officials at the clinic have not confirmed the story, and ESPN independently has not been able to confirm that Woods is at the clinic. Denizet Lewis says he spent time at the Pine Grove Behavioral Health and Addiction Services a few years ago while writing his book. He spoke with Josh Elliott earlier on SportsCenter on what Tiger could be facing.
If a celebrity comes to rehab, it does sort of upset the balance a little bit. I mean, it's hard to sort of, you're in group therapy, these very intense programs, you're being incredibly honest, and suddenly Tiger is sitting next to you, or another celebrity is sitting next to you. It can be difficult. My guess as to what is happening there is that he's pretty much going through what everyone else is going through. He's got to do group therapy. Various treatment centers might give him his own room for some privacy, but other than that, he has to do what everyone else does, which is get honest and work really, really hard. I mean, you got homework, you got intense therapy sessions, intense group therapy sessions. It's hard to know what Tiger's motivation for going is. Is he trying to save his marriage? Is he trying to save his public image? Mm-hmm. Does he actually think he has an addiction and is there to work on it? I'm not in his head. I can't tell you that.
With all the attention on Tiger Woods this past offseason, at this time in each of the past 4 years, Woods would still have yet to play in his first event. Last year, Woods did not make his first PGA Tour appearance until late February while recovering from knee surgery, while in the 3 previous seasons, he made his first appearance around this time. A judge ruling today that fired Texas Tech coach Mike Leach's lawsuit against the university can go forward, but not as quickly as his attorneys wanted. The university fired Leach on December 30th, 2 days after it suspended him amid allegations he mistreated a player with a concussion. His suit includes allegations of libel and slander, breach of contract, and violation of the Texas Whistleblower Act.
College basketball tonight. You can see it on ESPNU, 7 Eastern, not too far from now. Big East matchup, Georgetown and Pittsburgh. Panthers have won 31 straight at home. Tim Welsh will have the call tonight on the game. He's got the keys to tonight's contest.
Tonight's key in the Georgetown-Pittsburgh game will be the backboards. There's no question. Both teams mirror each other on the offensive end of the floor. Highly efficient. And then on the defensive end of the floor, stingy, limiting opponents to one shot. Who gets the second shots tonight? Mostly on the offensive end of the floor, and also can convert on those offensive opportunities. Probably will bring home the win. But for Pittsburgh, what will they do with Greg Monroe, the up-and-coming superstar for Georgetown? Will they trap him on the low box? Will they match up with him on the outside with a small forward or a bigger player? That's the key tonight. It should be a great one here in Pittsburgh.
All right, Tim, thank you. 3 of the top 5 teams with the longest home win streaks in men's Division I basketball in action tonight. You got the Jayhawk streak of 52 such wins. Would be on the line against Baylor. Pittsburgh looks to extend its streak to 32 against Georgetown, as we mentioned, and Dayton is playing at home tonight against GW.
This note before we go, men's college basketball action continues with ESPN Saturday primetime. John Shire leading Duke against ACC rival Clemson. Can Trevor Booker and the Tigers avenge an early season blowout at the hands of the Blue Devils? Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV, ESPN 9 Eastern.
When I was a sophomore at St. John's, I got to see Mark Jackson get his first college game.
Really?
Action. Yeah, and he, man, what a great player. Great flow. It's great to see him back on the college scene, but he was great. Don't let him fool you.
You have lots of hair like Van Gundy did?
No, he was. No, he had it together back then. Not that, you know, Van Gundy did.
Hair.
No, it's the full Manny Pacquiao interview, by the way, on the Brian Kenny Show page on ESPN.com. We have linebacker Chad Greenway of the Vikings and All-American wide receiver Marty Gilliard tonight on ESPN Radio, 8 o'clock Eastern.
That's a pretty good show. Can I come on?
You hang out. Herm Edwards is coming by.
Really?
Yeah.
Not going to scare you like he did us on the show.
Yeah, he might.
He's Brian and Jay. Peace.
Welcome to a doubleheader of basketball tonight on ESPN with a little different twist. We'll start in Chapel Hill, where the North Carolina Tar Heels face another tough ACC matchup, the dangerous Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. But for NBA analyst Mark Jackson, memories of an All-American career at St. John's. And for former Pistons coach Dick Vitale, it's back to the NBA tonight. And former Nazareth College star Jeff Van Gundy, his return to college. He's aged well, as you look by his marathon performance Sunday in Houston. It's our announcer swap tonight on ESPN. The Dean Dome and another packed house, a great atmosphere of college basketball here at Chapel Hill as North Carolina in another difficult ACC matchup. Dino Gadio and Roy Williams, just another night in the Atlantic Coast Conference here on ESPN. And good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand. What a thrill to take a night off from the NBA and be right in the midst of college basketball country here in North Carolina. For you guys, this has got to be a lot of fun. Former Big East All-American, bring back memories?
Brings back a lot of memories. I just wish I would have faced that guy in that Nazareth outfit in the open. I'd have killed him.
How about you? You're a former Big East coach.
Well, hey, when you play conference games in college basketball, they mean so very much. Both teams are on edge.
And a huge conference game tonight. And for North Carolina, they've dropped 2 in a row, 3 of 4. And without maybe their best player, he's out with an ankle injury. And that means senior Deion Thompson is going to have to come up big for them.
Right. Carolina has had shoddy perimeter play. Deion Thompson inside has to be a dominant force against a very physical Wake Forest defense. He's got to demand the ball, and then he's got to deliver.
Meanwhile, for Wake Forest, they've got Al-Farouq Aminu, one of the best players in the country that a lot of people haven't heard of. He makes them go, but Ishmael Smith, the point guard, he may be the key to this team.
And Dino Gadio said, hey, Smith, I've had Jeff Teague, I've also had Chris Paul. This guy, inline to inline, is the fastest I've ever seen. He has to dictate the game on the defensive end and also offensively. They need him to set the tone.
So let's take a look at our Star Watch for tonight's matchup. And Aminu, again, leads the ACC in rebounding. He's 5th in the country in that department. Thompson, the leading scorer. Without Ed Davis, he's going to have to score a little bit more tonight. And let's take a look at the starting lineups with Wake Forest, the visitors first. And again, Aminu is just a sophomore. They do have 3 seniors, including Smith, and the freshman, C.J. Harris, may be the best shooter on the team for Dino Gadio. And for North Carolina, Travis Ware, the freshman, gets his very first career start in place of Ed Davis. And sophomore point guard Larry Drew, a real key for Roy Williams. And we're underway. Wednesday Night Hoops, ACC basketball on ESPN. And how about if you're Wake Forest? What a week. You got Sunday at Duke, Wednesday at North Carolina. Doesn't get much tougher than that. First shot off the mark. Jonell D. Williams, offensive rebound, and that's one of the things he does best. He is so active on the boards, Aminu.
Just about what we talked about in the open. The guy is dominant on both ends of the floor as far as crashing the boards. You got to love that energy, coach.
I do, and I also like the pass he made off the dribble. They isolate him at the high post a lot. Good play for the three-point attempt.
And there's the senior you just talked about. Deon Thompson averages just under 15 a game. He had a strong start this year, struggling a little bit. They'll need a big game for him tonight. Smith. Williams again. Aminu. Good defense from Thompson. Blocks the shot. And Graves grabs it as well. Will Graves coming off one of his best games as a Tar Heel. But it has been a rough stretch for them. They lost at home to Georgia Tech in their last game as Graves throws up an air ball and lost by 19 at Clemson the game before. Smith pushes, kicks it out. There's the freshman Harris off the dribble. And the other freshman Ware the rebound for Carolina. Both teams love to run. Both teams love to score. We should have an high-scoring affair tonight, Jeff.
Well, they play at such a fast pace.
Nice pass. And Travis Ware with his first bucket.
And something you don't see in the NBA, both teams run after makes as much as they run after misses.
C.J. Harris in the starting lineup for Wake Forest. He's out there mainly for his shooting. Dino Gaudio loves what the young man's done so far. There's Chase McFarland, another senior. Won't go, but a foul. And Ware will commit it. There's Gaudio in his third year as head coach at Wake Forest. Of course, took over for the late Skip Prosser, a good friend and assistant coach for Prosser for so many years. And he has done an unbelievable job. Maybe the biggest thing he's done since he took over was turn this into a real defensive program, Jeff.
Well, they don't really get out and deny and try to force turnovers. They make sure you try to keep the ball out of the paint, force you to take contested jump shots. But the biggest thing he's done was manage the emotional toll his team went through with the loss of such a beloved figure like Skip Prosser.
But you make a great point, because defensively, I don't care. The rules doesn't change whether you talk about in the NBA or in college. You win ball games on the defensive end.
Oh, tough shot. Will Graves, the junior from Greensboro, is coming off a 24-point game in the loss to Georgia Tech, his best outing. Smith. And three seniors in the starting lineup for Wake. Aminu tied up, sees the double team. Harris kicks it out. Shot clock still with 9. Crowd getting fired up. As Aminu fakes, drives. Oh, can't get it to fall. And Ware doing a good job on the boards early. Turnover, and that's been a real problem for North Carolina. Almost lost it back. Last couple of games, Mark, they've really struggled turning the ball over.
You know, Roy Williams talked about that exact problem. You have to take care of the basketball and give yourself a chance to run offense.
McFarland, offensive rebound, and banks it in.
And he's really struggled from a field goal shooting standpoint in the 30%, but he is a very good rebounder. Had an outstanding game at Duke in their last time out.
Ginyard, and a blocking foul. Good try from Harris. But Carolina is shorthanded because their talented sophomore Ed Davis sprained his ankle a couple of times in that game against Georgia Tech. He's their leading rebounder, leading shot blocker, leads the ACC in field goal percentage, but he's out. Tried to give it a go, came out, warmed up in the initial warm-ups, and it looked like he might play, but did not return when they came out right before the game. And Carolina has a 6-day break after today, so want to get him healthy. Quick pass inside. Graves a finish. Well, they're going to need a burst from someone else, and Graves gives them an early one. Carolina by 2.
That's awfully impressive. That's how you run a set underneath out of bounds. They executed, got a quality look.
Thompson guarding Aminu, who's gotten a lot of help early. And there's Harris. He's out there to shoot. You know, Gaudio loves the way his freshmen shoot the ball.
And he's just a solid player. He doesn't make mistakes. He's got great poise.
Thompson misses. And here's one of the best rebounders in the nation, although deflects it. Good hustle from Drew to pick it up. Bad turnover. Harris picks it off. Harris, Smith, blocked from behind. Terrific hustle and recovery from Ginyard. And we'll have our first timeout. Marcus Ginyard, a terrific defensive player when he's been healthy. Looked pretty healthy on this play, Mark.
This is a big-time play. Not giving up on it. Little LeBron James like, not on my watch. You won't be dunking in my house. Carolina tied with Wake.
Let's go, Bron. One shot.
For every tick of the clock.
The Ohio State Boys Championship is on the line.
What's the bet?
For every bounce of the ball. For every shot I've ever taken.
Switch. Pick left.
They're always with me. That's what being there is all about.
The Junior Candy Sundae with M&M's, huh?
Yeah, man, I got mine with Oreos. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, last week I brought a date here.
Oh, nice.
This is how cool she is. Everything she orders is off the everyday value menu.
Ooh, that's good.
So I'm like,
convenient.
well, you're a cheap date. And she was like, excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. I think she's hard of hearing. So I'm like, you're a cheap date.
The everyday value menu at Sonic. Value knows no time of day. So drive in anytime for small tots or grab a delicious chicken strip sandwich. Sonic's everyday value menu. Served all day, every day, starting at just $1 each.
Well, look who's here. It's Ellen.
Hey, Mayor Wade. How you doing?
Great. Come on here. Would you like to see our new police department?
Yeah, all right.
This way. And here it is.
Completely networked.
So anything happening, Suze?
She's all good.
Is that my car?
The new community. See it, live it, share it. On the Human Network. Cisco.
Saturday on ESPN, number 6 Duke travels to 16th ranked Clemson.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Bruce Willis action thriller Surrogates on Blu-ray and DVD January 26th.
Back at the Dean Smith Center. Early first half, Carolina and Wake Forest all tied at 8. The Tar Heels have dropped their last 2 and 3 of their last 4. Tough loss at Clemson, where the Carolina starters combined for only 12 field goals at a ragged first half, 15 turnovers. Early in the second half, Coach Williams swapped the whole lineup for 5 freshmen. And Saturday at home against Georgia Tech, they had to overcome a 20-point lead. Actually took the lead, but couldn't hold on down the stretch. And they fell short here on their home floor. And right now, Roy Williams is concerned with his team's confidence. They're a little shaken, he thinks.
Well, and he thinks they're playing tight. Plus, they're turning the ball over at such a high rate. It's hard to play well and hard to look good and play confidently when you're turning the ball over as much as they are.
26 turnovers against Clemson, 17 against Georgia Tech. The Georgia Tech game was the home loss, first home loss of the season. They're 11-1 now here. Smith, nice move to the basket. Offensive foul. They count the basket. And we'll go the other way. Travis Ware, who's done a nice job, draws the charge.
Well, this is a very good move by Ish Smith. And it's just one of the reasons I hate the college charge. To me, he'd already released the ball, and the guy moves under him. That's a block or a no call.
But didn't we talk to the referees before the game, and you promised to be nice?
I did, but then I saw that, and I'm like, come on. It's a great move. No wonder you can't get at the basket. If a guy can dive in late and take a charge, it takes away from the athleticism of that move.
Where's the restricted area?
They have it now, but just not on the floor.
Here's Ware, the freshman getting the start. Can't get that one. Long rebound back out to Drew. And Drew Gets it to go. Mark Jackson, he's so keen. Tough act to follow. Ty Lawson. Drew's been up and down as Smith goes coast to coast. Wow, he got down in a hurry.
I tell you what, this kid Smith is a big-time player. I love the pace that he plays with, able to change speeds, and then out of nowhere, burst of energy to the cup. But you're talking about Larry Drew, got to play under control. That's the type of offense you take that last possession. Take what the defense presents for you.
McFarland on the foul. He got down the court in about 3 seconds on this.
If I could run like this, I'd still be playing. This is outstanding, and this is after a score. Pushing the ball down the throat of the defense, poor transition defense by the Carolina Tar Heels, and Smith finishing at the cup.
Ish Smith could go up and back before you could go up the court.
I'm not going to argue with you, man.
That was quite a burst.
Did he give you the permission to call him Ish Smith?
Hey, all I know is when you shoot 44% from the free throw line like he does, or 42, anybody can call you anything.
Nice block, meanwhile, from Tony Woods, the sophomore. And they've got some size up front, Wake Forest.
You know, great length and athletic ability in the front court, the ability to change shots.
They're one of the best defensive teams in the country. 5th in overall opponent's field goal percentage.
And Mike, I watched that game from start to finish against Duke the other night as Giniard takes it to the basket. And I have rarely seen a more hotly contested athletic event than that game. Duke played so hard, as did Wake Forest. There were bodies all over the court. Like you said, these guys have strength inside, and Carolina's front court has to stand up to them tonight from a physical nature.
That 20-point loss to Duke, the final score was not indicative of how tough a battle that was for the Blue Devils. Although, you know, Gaudio come away saying, you know, Duke's got a chance to be a Final Four team. He was very impressed with Duke.
They've got to get the ball inside to Thompson.
How about the freshman coming off and getting his first start? He's played very well. David Ware, aggressive at both ends of the floor. Smith pulls up and knocks it down. Smith's averaging about 12.5 a game in addition to the 6 assists. He already has 6 points.
Now, you talked about it early on about what are the keys of being successful on the college level. To me, the biggest key is confidence. Right now, you take a look at Smith. You can't convince him he's not the best player on the floor. He believes it, and he's acting on it.
Giniard, too strong. Ball tip, and Thompson able to get it. Deion Thompson with 4 points. All tied up. He played nearly 7 minutes here in the first half. Smith dishing inside to Woods, and Woods draws a foul. Roy Williams wanted to travel. If he can become consistent on the outside, he'll be so tough, Mark.
Well, you talk about Ish Smith. All I got to say is swish, getting it done. Stop on a dime, the ability to elevate, knock down the jump shot. This guy looks extremely talented.
Well, they not only love him as a point guard, but as a leader. His coach raving about him. He's one of those guys that he's always smiling, always in a good mood, always lifts the team up.
If I was that quick, I'd always smile too. If I knew no one could keep me out of the lane.
You didn't feel that way at Nazareth? Your body language in the picture expressed that.
Listen, I penetrated with the pass and the pass only. I couldn't get past a cone on the court or a chair, let alone another defender.
Woods hits the free throws.
Now this guy right here, Strickland, the backup point, he's got some jets too for Carolina. He's from New Jersey. He can really blow it up the floor like Smith.
Strickland, a freshman from Rahway. Giniard once again Ware, and once again knocks it down. Travis Ware, a freshman from Huntington Beach. 4 points, strong on the boards as well.
And that's all it takes. Take what the defense gives you. They're backing up off of him, presenting him with open jump shots. Be confident.
Ball knocked out of Smith's hands. Giniard gets it back, goes in, left-handed, can't finish. And here comes Wake. Gary Clark has come in. This is David Weaver. Right away, Clark shoots, misses. 3rd rebound already for Travis Ware.
And both teams have really struggled shooting the ball with range this year.
The Ware brothers combining on that. Travis and David, twin brothers, getting some extra time with Ed Davis out of the game, and the Carolina fans get on their feet for the first time tonight. However aggressive is David. And we'll have a timeout. Just over 8 minutes gone by here in the first half. Carolina with a 2-point lead.
It's over.
It's not over until we get that weapon back.
How do I stop this? You can't.
Surrogates exploding onto Blu-ray and DVD. Own it Tuesday, January 26th.
So what's the problem?
It's your blades, pal.
Oh, man, I should have known.
Nah, even the best blades get worn down. When that happens, it's not as comfortable, see? When the strip turns white, you should think about changing it for a smoother ride.
Gillette Fusion. Fresh blade, more comfortable shave. You know what 2:30 in the afternoon feels like, right? Sleepy? Groggy? Dying for a nap? What do? Run for the coffee? Grab a soda? But how long does that last before you're back for more? Try this instead. Take one 5-hour energy, then see what the rest of your day feels like. Sure won't feel like 2:30 anymore. Or 3:30. Or 4:30. 5-hour energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later.
ESPN presents Realizing the Dream.
I'm Doris Corbett, professor and chair of the Department of Health, Human Performance, and Leisure Studies here at Howard University. I teach courses in sociology of sport and race and gender issues in sport. Students study people of color and understand how health, fitness, wellness issues fit in the global scheme of things as it relates to human performance.
In our college basketball studios with the NBA guys calling the game, I'm Carl Ravitch, Steve Lavin alongside at the half. George Blaney, of course, in place of Jim Calhoun, the UConn coach, with a medical leave. And St. John's off early. Been a problem for Connecticut, defending 11-7. Meantime, another Big East showdown going on. Georgetown and Pittsburgh on ESPNU. The Hoyas on the road up by 6 early. Michigan State putting it to Iowa. Blaney and the guys, welcome to the college world for a while.
Well, it's fun to be here. Although I used to announce college games.
I used to coach in college.
25 years ago. Meanwhile, more college matchup coming up. Primetime college basketball this Saturday night. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern with College Game Day, as number 6 Duke will travel to Little John Coliseum and face 16th ranked Clemson. ESPN Primetime this Saturday night. Well, Carolina by 2, and again without Ed Davis, the sophomore, so some of the freshmen going to get a lot. In fact, Roy Williams saying that his first 4 players off the bench are going to be freshmen, including the twins, David Ware and Travis Ware. I've already mixed them up so far in the game. And Roy Williams says if they come into his office one at a time, he can't tell. If they come in together, he usually can tell who's who.
We were at the JV game earlier watching Carolina JV play Fork Union, and one of the Wares was behind us watching, and I turned around and I said to him, let me just take a wild stab. David, I was wrong.
But mind you, we had a hint. They said, hey, Travis has the beard. So he's looking at Travis with the beard and says David.
And right now, Carolina has 5 freshmen on the floor.
First of all, you can't call that what he has on his face a beard.
Farland gets it inside. Won't go. Tip misses as well. Second tip bouncing around. Harry Stewart, a good-looking freshman for Wake Forest, couldn't get it to go. Shot blocked by McFarland. Impressive play there as Leslie McDonald, the freshman from Memphis for Carolina, went to the basket. A lot of freshmen on the floor. 5 for Carolina, a couple as well for Wake Forest. Clark lines it up and knocks down the 3. Gary Clark. They need him to get back. Strickland, fancy move. Shot won't go. McFarland the rebound. And Ish pushing the ball once again. McFarland lobs it in. Knocked away. Good defense that time from David Ware. Strickland. Shot blocked. Offensive foul. Good transition defense from the Demon Deacons. And Smith gets in. Packed house for the JV game.
I'm going to say, Jared Haas, who is an assistant for Carolina, who's coaching the JV team, he should be so proud of himself. He has them playing the Carolina system as well as Carolina. That guy, if I was an AD, I'd be here watching him coach the JV team. It gives him incredible experience having his own team, can run practice. I couldn't have been more impressed with how his team played.
A guy named Roy Williams used to do that when Dean Smith was the coach. I want to know
why you're sitting up there like a scout during a JV game.
Hey, they run more out of bounds. I was trying to get their out of bounds plays down. They had more out of bounds plays than I ever had in the NBA. Fist 2 curl. I'm like, oh my goodness.
A foul on Travis Ware, his second.
And on every baseline out of bounds, Carolina goes zone.
Gary Clark up top. L.D. Williams, the senior, back in.
Where are they going to get their penetration from with Smith on the bench?
And Harris is the shooter, as is Stewart. Aminu, it's not his strength. McFarland, though, had it and lost it. Took it away. Graves knocked out of bounds from behind, and still Carolina ball. Substitution, Larry Drew returns for Roy Williams. ESPN brings you a college basketball doubleheader this Saturday, starting at noon Eastern. Third-ranked Villanova faces Mark Jackson's old team, St. John's. Then at 2, it's number 3 Kansas against Iowa State. That's this Saturday, college hoops on ESPN. Red Storm doing pretty good this year, Mark.
Things are looking much better.
Aren't they 2-3 in conference?
That's much better. It is much better.
Graves on the drive. Shot won't go, tipped out. Drew, Clark pokes it away, and a foul call on Drew. And there's just a perfect example of how hard Wake Forest plays defensively.
Right, they've had a number of rebounds. Wake Forest has that they should have secured that popped loose, but they continue to pursue the play. And right now, Mark mentioned this earlier, Larry Drew has to just calm himself down. He's had 5 turnovers in each of the last 2 games. 2 so far already, or 3 now. And he's got to take better care of the basketball so that Carolina can get into some offensive rhythm.
Well, you follow Raymond Felton and Ty Lawson. Not an easy act to follow. You put a little pressure on yourself. Just past the midway point here in the opening half. Williams inside. Aminu, nice finish. He thought he got hit in the head as well. Thompson traveled. Picked up that pivot foot.
A very under control move. He goes for the back cut. Good penetration. This is what you're looking for in the NBA. A guy who can get along the baseline, play off the penetration, catch and finish quickly. He's got an explosive burst at the rim.
They list him as 6'9". He's only a sophomore, but the word is that after this year, he will go to the NBA. Harris lines up the 3. Harris, the freshman.
You see the problem because of the dribble penetration of Wake Forest. Carolina goes into a zone. You leave shooters wide open. You got to recognize the shooters, and you can't live with them having wide open looks.
Drew, nice penetration, gets it inside to Ware. Ware steps back, comes up short. Ishmael Smith back in the game. Lob, Elliott thrown down by Williams. Beautiful pass to the senior L.D. Williams. That's now 10 straight points for Wake Forest, and the crowd has gone a bit silent. You see the intensity from Gadio.
Yeah, I love this kid, Smith. And he has the ability to consistently shoot a jump shot. He has the entire package. That's the only thing I need to see. Other than that, this kid is going to be a star.
Ware able to put it in. That's David Ware. Boy, David and Travis both contributing off. Well, David off the bench. Travis did get the start. And the 2 freshmen helping out Roy Williams. His team, though, down by 6.
But every possession is a struggle for Carolina because they don't have that same penetration ability that Aminu and Smith give Wake Forest.
Boxed out, but nobody went for the ball initially. Still loose. McDonald dives on it. And it'll be a held ball. Alternate possession goes to Carolina. And we'll have another timeout.
Said earlier, Ish Smith with the swish. Well, now it's Ish Smith with the dish. Touchdown, alley-oop, spectacular play, getting into the seams, on point, pass to the rim, does the rest. And how about Gadio, loving his point guard's play.
You remember me? You gave me that 5-layer burrito for
89 cents.
Yes.
It's an inside deal for everyone. Layers of seasoned beef, cheddar cheese, and a hidden layer of nacho cheese sauce. It's Taco Bell's new beefy 5-layer burrito for just 89 cents. Why pay more?
today. Experience the first must-see movie of 2010. The Book of Eli is a visually awe-inspiring epic that will rock your soul. Denzel Washington has never been better. The Book of Eli. Rated R. Now playing.
The biggest stage creates the biggest drama. This summer, 31 countries will fall, and one will be crowned champion. Live from South Africa, the 2010 FIFA World Cup on ESPN, coming in June.
Only on Golf Channel. Golf 2K10's just getting started, and the stars are out in the California desert for the Bob Hope Classic. Some of the PGA Tour's biggest personalities are ready to rock alongside top celebrities. The race for the FedEx Cup begins its West Coast swing. Watch the Bob Hope Classic. Check local listings for times. Only on Golf Channel, Channel 218.
Watching the bull and bear markets battle it out is not a retirement plan. So I switched to E-Trade and jumped on their retirement quick plan. It showed me the gloomy truth and let me run scenarios until I figured out how to eliminate my shortfall. Then I used their screeners to choose the right investments and build a diversified plan to keep me on track. Hey, my retirement plan needed work, and E-Trade helped me get it done. Get a retirement plan that works at E-Trade.
Only two teams from the Big East 5-0 in Conference. Villanova, they play Rutgers at 8 Eastern. Meantime, Pittsburgh also 5-0 at home, but trailing Georgetown in this one. Julian Wright doing some work down in the blocks. He gets the window wash. It's 25-17 over on ESPNU. On ESPN 360, St. John's by 2 over Connecticut without their head coach Jim Calhoun. And South Florida, Cincinnati, 1-point game on ESPN 2.
Back here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina down by 6. With just over 7.5 remaining in the first half. The defense from Wake Forest giving the Tar Heels a lot of problems. Drew lines up a 3. Too strong. Thompson keeps it alive. Ball knocked out. And a new 35 for North Carolina.
This is a very disciplined Wake Forest defense. If you're going to beat them, you're going to beat them on their terms. They are well prepared.
You know, Gadio said before the game, and a reaching foul call on Harris. He said, we guard pretty well. And when the coach says that, that's a superlative. He says they play the Dick Bennett type of defense. Jeff, what was that?
Well, that is more of Carolina will extend and try to deny passes one pass away, where the Dick Bennett pack philosophy is that you're going to pack the lane and prevent all penetration. And Tony Bennett, his son, is bringing his expertise to Virginia, and they're off to a great start. That guy is really a fine coach, taking over for Dave Lato, who did an outstanding job at Virginia.
They haven't lost yet in ACC play. Granted, just 3 games, but 3-0. That's Wake Forest's next game Saturday. They'll host Virginia. Marcus Kinyard knocks down that one. They could use somebody to start hitting from the outside. That was a 2-pointer. Ish Smith to the basket again and gets it to go.
And once again, that's off of a made shot, pushing the ball down the throat of the defense.
Another turnover for Carolina. Smith keeps his dribble nicely. And right now, Williams comes up hobbling. LD Williams. We'll go over to the bench. Gary Clark is going to come in. Oh, check that, Tony Woods.
And this is interesting because that pushes Aminu to the 3. And they really didn't want to go back to that as much because they didn't feel like they were in a good flow offensively with him playing more on the perimeter.
Woods at 6'11", McFarland at 7 feet. There's some big bodies in there for the Demon Deacons. 6.5 left here in the first half. Woods. It's inside, tough shot, won't go. And a loose ball foul. Or sincerely, they don't have those in college. But it's going to go against Carolina.
You know, on any level, in any sport, speed kills. This guy has tremendous speed, putting pressure on the defense, can finish. just a spectacular job of getting where he wants on the floor. What I love most about him, almost like Steve Nash, he is keeping the dribble alive when nothing is there.
That was a 17th foul, so one-on-one. He got down the court mark, got the shot off in 4 seconds. And foul's going to be called on Woods. First foul on Woods. Use your head, says Dino Gaddy. His team's had a lot of tough road games already. They're 4-3 on the road. Playing, as we mentioned, at Duke on Sunday. Overall, 12-4.
And they had a great road win at Gonzaga when they really executed in the half court, which is not their strength. They executed in the half court as well as they have all year.
Graves with a hand in his face. Ginyard the long rebound. Drew will try again. Ball batted around. Amino takes it down. 4 boards for one of the premier rebounders in the nation. Averages just under 12 a game. Harry Stewart, the other freshman. They've got some very good shooting freshmen between Stewart and Harris.
I like that these guys are not just putting the ball in the hands of Smith and forcing him to do everything. All the guys are confident and comfortable with the ball in their hands making plays.
Ware calling for it. Now he gets it. Quick shot won't go. McFarland grabs another board. Crowd wanted to travel. Amino goes to the basket, banks it in. Will they count it? No basket. Offensive foul on Amino. Good defense from the Tar Heels.
One thing, Coach, he's showing me, he feels confident putting the ball on the floor. That's a big-time move. That's an offensive foul. But I like what I see in his ability to put the ball on the floor to get where he wants to.
And you like to see Drew get in there, take the charge. He's not letting his problems on the offensive end affect his defense.
Right, that was great rotation, early help, and like I want to co-sign what Mark said. You know, one of the questions about Amino is his ability to handle and pass from the perimeter, particularly when he has to change directions. He didn't just blow by. Good change of direction, and really that's a pro type of move.
That's Amino's first foul, so he'll sit for a bit.